Lost Art with Andrew Cox, retired Master Gunnery Sergeant. thelostart.podbean.com. Get some merchandise and help support the podcast and getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Now on all major podcast platforms. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be a guest, tell your veteran story, discuss your veteran business or organization. Email The Lost Art with Andrew Cox at gmail.com. Andrew Cox, a Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. See the project story at tillvalhallaproject.com. Thanks for tuning in. Please enjoy the podcast that's giving a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. On today's episode, we're going to have a My Veteran Story. But before we get into it, are you enjoying the podcast? And be sure to go to our website, thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. There is a merchandise tab. Click on that. Go ahead and get you some cool gear, a hat, a shirt, something like that, maybe a mug. But help us, support us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. I also want to give a shout out to the Till Valhalla Project for allowing me to be an ambassador for their incredible organization that they have going on. I encourage you to go to their website. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. Go check them out, see what they're all about. And if you can help support them in their cause, please do so. All right, with that, I got Charles Jones here, Air Force veteran. So I'm excited to have another Air Force guy on. You know, I don't get too many of those, so it should be a good experience.
Absolutely.
So welcome.
Thank you.
How you been doing?
I've been doing well, actually. You know, I was really excited to get on this podcast. My first time doing a podcast. So,
okay.
Please bear with me.
No, you're good. You're good. We're just having a conversation, just shooting the shit. So we're good.
Okay.
So let's start at the beginning then. So where did you grow up? And then how did you get into military service?
All right. Well, I am from Georgia originally.
Okay.
And the reason why I got in the military is because my father, he was in the Army. He served 26 years in the Army out of Fort Benning. So, you know, my whole life has been around the military culture for the most part. I first, I joined the Air Force back in 2006. Well, actually, 2008.
Okay.
So at that point in time, I was 28 years old,
and
the cutoff was 29.
You barely
so
made
I
it.
barely made it.
Yeah.
I actually turned 29 while in basic.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That's quite a bit older than most everyone going through, huh?
Absolutely.
So being one of the older guys as you were going in, how was that for you?
Actually, it was pretty easy for me because I've already had the discipline that I need to do what I'm actually supposed to do.
Yeah.
And the younger kids, they broke all the time, it was like, they were always stressed out about not seeing their families or this or that. But like for me, I actually went to college when I graduated from high school at 17.
Mm-hmm.
I did over 4 years of college at the time.
Yeah.
And that did not work out for me, of course. So I joined the Air Force.
Okay. And then what were you joining the Air Force to do?
Well, I went in open electronics.
Okay.
And they decided to send me to Great Falls, Montana.
Oh, nice.
And I'm from Georgia, so that was a big culture shift as far as what I'm used to. And my job there was VIDS, visually image intrusion detection systems.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So basically it boils down, I was under the nuclear security camp.
Okay.
So I was a guy who maintains the cameras, our invisible walls, and their weapons turrets.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. So it was on like one of the nuclear bases type thing.
Yeah, it's at a nuke base. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now for a job like that, you have to have like secret clearance and that type of stuff. Is that how that works?
Yeah, actually, I started off with a secret clearance, but as things got more in depth, we had to get a TSSCI.
Oh, wow. So
I made it all the way there.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so now don't talk about anything you're not supposed to talk about. I don't want us to get in trouble here.
Yeah.
So don't tell me how they're made.
Okay.
I don't want to know that. But okay, so Now, when you went there, that was where the schoolhouse was, or you were stationed there?
I actually was stationed there.
Okay.
For the schoolhouse, I went to Keesler. That's down in Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So how long was the school?
I was there for approximately 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So after that, they just shipped me right off to Great Falls, Montana.
So, okay. So here you are. You're from Georgia originally.
Yes.
Obviously a little bit different culture.
Absolutely.
So you show up to Montana. What was that like for you?
Wow. Montana is a beautiful state.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being there. I learned how to snowboard while I was there. Me and my friends go out and just do it. We didn't have any training or anything. But, that was always fun. But as far as living there, that's a different story because it snows like 9 months out of the year.
Ooh.
And while living on base, you had to make sure that your driveway was cleaned every single morning before you go to work.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had a vehicle as well, but it wasn't snow ready.
Yeah.
So I ended up sliding around all the time, hitting curbs,
wow.
and everything. But it was a really unique experience.
Yeah. And then, so what was your kind of day-to-day life as you were there? When you went to work and then all that type of stuff, what were you doing?
Oh boy. All right. Well, when I started work, I believe we started around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
A typical work hour, I would say. So we basically just went into our shop, saw what needed to be done, because since we were maintaining the cameras and everything else, that's a high visibility thing. Because if those go down, of course, you have other issues that could arise. So, before that, I was on a program called PRP, which means Personal Reliability Program.
Okay.
So you had to stay within 1 hour of the actual base, and you couldn't have drinks at certain times.
Oh, wow.
And if there was a call or something, for instance, if an alarm went off for some reason or another, you would have to respond within that hour and fix whatever's happening.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Needless to say, due to the snow and everything else and the wildlife animals, I was pretty busy.
Yeah. I imagine so. Now, as you were responding, because the cameras and things of that nature, that's the cameras, security camera type stuff.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
All right. So, and you said that due to the wildlife, what is that? What do you mean by that? Like something would happen with the wildlife and you have to go out and fix something?
Basically, if a rodent would cross an area and set up an alarm or a sensor, and you'll have to, basically determine what it was. And if the people who are monitoring the cameras, which were not us, didn't see what it was, then we'll have to go out and basically fix it. Plus, since it snows all the time there, you don't want to have any snow in your cameras either. Yeah. So we'll get calls for that.
So you have to go out clean the camera
at whatever hour.
Oh my
and
God.
That's what made that job so difficult at times.
Yeah. How often would you say while you were doing that you would have to go out? Would it be a daily thing or?
At some points in time it was daily, but then the cops realized that we can't control the snow. But if the cameras weren't working, somebody has to be at the area of the camera. Well, the cops didn't really want to have to stay outside all night long, while the cameras are down, whatever. So this just called bids, had to come and clean it off for us. And of course, these cameras are not ground level cameras either. They're at least 60 feet up in the air. So,
oh, dang. Okay. So you're kind of climbing a tower or something like that to.
Well, fortunately, we had a man lift.
Oh, okay. That's
and by the way, I am scared of heights. So that was fun experience for me in itself.
Okay. So you're scared of heights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you got to get on this thing, shoot you up 60 feet up in the air.
Absolutely.
And clear everything off. Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that?
Well, you don't have a choice but to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to get over your fears because, the thing still has to be fixed within a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. And I signed up for the job. So I had to just get over it and just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be skydiving or anything, but I'll do things if I have a harness on and I'm a cat lift. I'm saying I'll be okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I like it. All right. And then so throughout your time now, how many years were you in?
I served for 8 years.
8 years? Okay. So how long were you in Montana specifically?
Well, I actually, I was in Montana for 4.5 years.
Okay.
The usual rotation is like around 4 years for that type of job. But in order to transfer out, you have to go overseas first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I went to Korea for a year. And then after Korea, I got sent to San Antonio.
Oh, okay. Talk to me about going from Montana. Okay, so Georgia to Montana, now you're going to Korea. Completely different atmosphere. So what was that like for you?
Korea was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the food. I love the culture. They're a lot more I saw a lot more people on the streets doing certain things, selling things than I ever have in the United States. So
oh wow.
You have like somebody come up to you like selling you like various items. It was an experience.
Yeah. They're coming up and trying to different people coming up. Hey, buy this.
You're a soldier. Buy this. Buy this. I have really good prices for you. But from like what I heard in the past, the prices were actually good. But nowadays, it's like they raise the prices all the way up there.
Inflation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They jacked it
up. So what were some of the now your day-to-day duties in Korea? Was it very similar to what it was in Montana? Or
well, in Korea, I had a different job. I was a hardware technician.
Okay.
So basically, if anybody's computer went down, I would determine why and fix it.
Okay.
And that also includes installing new PCs and basically making sure like comm cabinets are cleaned and clear, and basically just maintaining what they already have.
Yeah. That's actually a really good skill to have, especially nowadays in how far we've advanced in technology and stuff. So that's a great skill to have, to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so what were some of the things that you did in Korea? I'm sure you weren't working 24/7. Where'd you go? What'd you do? What were some of the fun experiences you had?
Well, my thing was, since I'm in Korea, I might as well experience the culture.
Yeah.
So I took trips to their temples.
Nice.
Excuse me. They also showed us how they make certain like doughs of rice and various things like that.
Yeah.
And their etiquette practices as well.
Okay. Very cool. And would you say that at this point up into your life, but that's a very different type of thing. Was that something that that you enjoyed very much so, like being in that different cultures? Or
oh yes, absolutely. And since my father was in the Army, I had the joy of spending 4 years in Germany as a kid.
Nice.
So I think I was around 10 or 11 years old at that time. So during that time, I saw so many different things. I loved the smells of the foods, and it was just a uplifting experience to see something different than, of course, the U.S.
Yeah, and it is definitely different for sure. And Germany is a great place to be. You're talking about the food and stuff like that, man. Alive, it's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the castles and stuff as
well. Oh yeah. Now, being in Germany, you're that whole area. I mean, there's tons of places to go, not just in Germany, but all around that area. Did you get to go and visit other places while you were there too?
Yes, we went to Italy.
Nice. Okay.
In particular, Paris. Yeah. Well, no. And also we went to Switzerland.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
So I've traveled around quite a bit.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I, as a kid, I did not travel that much, but being in the military, I got to do a little bit of travel. So it's been good. All right. So you spent a year in Korea, and then from Korea, where'd you go?
Well, while I was in Korea, I had the options of going to a few different places, and I chose. Well, I wanted to go to San Antonio because I'm from Georgia, and that's pretty much close to my family.
Yeah.
Even though I believe it's like a 14-hour drive, that's still closer than Montana
or Korea.
Or Korea.
Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't know what job I would be doing when I got here, but where they placed me was working at the National Security Agency.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So what did you do at the NSA? Like what same type of job or?
It was basically the same type of job. I was in a career field called cyber transport.
Okay.
So basically, I had to make sure everything is running, check the lines from around the world, just make sure they are running. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everything is good to go.
Yeah.
And if something needs to be installed or bought, we did that. Upgrades all the time. I mean we're always upgrading.
Yeah. That's almost a daily thing.
Yes, basically.
And it is amazing how much you have to upgrade that stuff. I mean, it literally feels daily. It's crazy.
It does.
Much smarter people than me, I can tell you that. All right, so what would you say? Oh, your experience, right? You did 8 years total in the Air Force. As you look back over that time frame, what would you say? Kind of the, I guess, lessons learned. Maybe something that you could pass on and say, hey, maybe don't do these things, or hey, this is something that is important to try to do, or anything like that.
Well, ultimately, I would say that discipline is something that everybody needs.
Oh yeah.
And like without that, things tend to fall and not work as they're supposed to.
Right. Yeah.
In the military, of course, you are forced that discipline. You might not like doing what you're doing, but you have to do it or find another job, basically. So yes, I believe discipline.
All right. I like it. And then so you're still here in San Antonio. That's where we are now. So once you got out, you just stayed here?
Yeah, once I got out, I stayed here. And my lifelong, I'm an artist. So my lifelong dream was to create some sort of artwork or entertainment for anybody. Plus, I love to play video games. So I went to school for video game development.
Oh, nice.
And I graduated from that in 2020. Then I went back for media arts and animation, and I finished that in 2022, I believe. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that's my hobby. I am a gamer. I love playing games, and
Okay. Now, when you're going to school for that and everything, developing the games, is there a big job market for that? I mean,
oh yeah, this is a huge job market. In comparison, the biggest industry, I believe, were movies, films.
Yeah.
But then it shifted towards games.
Yeah.
So, but back in the days, it was well, you shouldn't be an artist. There is no money there. And everybody heard about the starving artists, of course. Well, I say it for a reason, because it's actually true.
Very true. Yeah.
Until you make it.
Right. The lucky ones that make it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. And then are you working in that field still, or are you just doing it for fun?
Currently, I'm doing it for fun until I make something that I can present to the world.
Oh, okay.
So
very nice. Okay.
And I'm currently working on a few different projects.
Okay. What like games?
I'm working on actually writing a book.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Well, I'm going to ask, what's the book about?
It's called Where Roses Bloom. And it's a book about my mom and my sister and me.
Uh-huh.
My mom passed away back in 2010.
Okay.
So it's basically how are we able to cope with that and basically stay a tight family between brother and sister.
Oh, very cool. All right. And about how much of it you got done already?
I would say I'm possibly 70% done.
No kidding.
70%, yes.
All right. So we should see a book here soon then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very nice. And how long have you been working on it?
I've been working on it for about 2 months continuously, but before that, it was just like an idea. I didn't really put anything towards it, but now I'm like, hey, I need to finish something.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty quick. You
Yeah.
know, you're talking 2 months of actual work at it, and you're already 70% done. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, and it's a short story, so I think
Yeah.
like the words are like 10,000 for a short story. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
hit that mark.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. That I think they call them a novella. Is that right?
Novellas, yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. I think that because when I wrote a book that's about, it was novella size. I don't know. I
Okay.
can't remember the exact numbers or whatever, but it was in that realm. So, but yeah, that's awesome. So we'll see the book coming out soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what else has been happening? Anything else?
Other than that, I mean, I've been having a wonderful time. I'm speaking with my family quite often. My father, he's 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, he's like still around, so which is awesome. But he'll call me like every day.
Yeah.
Just say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine." He's like, "Okay, bye."
Nice. Man of small little words.
Yeah. But every day. And then he always tells me, "I love you."
Yeah.
And that's like something he never said back as a kid.
Huh.
But now that's something I bring forward to telling my son every time I speak with him.
Yeah.
I always tell him, "Hey, I love you."
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. Very cool. All right. Well, is there anything you want to leave the listeners with as we start to wrap it up, or
just be happy. Life has its obstacles, but there's always ups and downs. Just learn to enjoy the ups more than the downs.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. It's good advice, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And yeah, hey, it's been a good time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't take off. All right. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can also text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. Any of those options are going to be able to put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. I know he cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please, please, please reach out for help. And if you're not struggling, you're doing well, make sure you reach out to your buddies that you serve with. Ask them how they're doing. And if they need a helping hand, please help them. All right. With that, thanks again. Truly appreciate it. To all the listeners, stay motivated. Change your socks.